Hello, today in this video we're going to discuss DML form development. In earlier video we created workspace, users, and then we created application, and in our last video we discussed about the user interface. Today we're going to create a new page with which will contain a DML form, and we'll discuss in detail what are the elements or how are they arranged in the page. To do that, we're going to create a page, and then some wizard will appear, and we'll continue with the wizard. So let's begin with the creation of the page. Create a page. It's the create the form. Now it's going to form on a table with report, form on a table or view, master detail form, tabular form. So we're going to do this form on a table with report. Next. It's asking if the report will be interactive report or classic. We're going to do the classic first, okay? Then we'll discuss about interactive. Page 2, page report 1. Okay, nothing to change here. Let's continue with it. Now it asks for table or view owner. HR is our schema, and let's create a form on, for example, department. Since we are only beginning with our DML form, we're going with a very simple, very small table, and which is a master table. Okay, let's move to next. Keep it as it is. Do not use a tab. We do not have any tab yet created. We'll show these navigation later. Next. See, all the items have been selected here. These items will appear on the form. So let's next. This is the edit image link. You can say it anything here. So let's keep it as it is. Next. Now it's asking for the form. Okay. Until now it was all about the report, and now it's asking for the form information. For page number 3, form on department, form region. Next. Now it's asking for primary key item. So we're going to say primary key type. What type of primary key will be? It will be row type, row ID, or it will be primary key columns. Okay, we're going to select primary key column. The primary key column is 1 department ID. There is no secondary item here, so we're going to keep it like that. Only one item is our primary key. It is department ID. Next. Now we do not have any trigger for this table. We are not using any sequence also, so we're going to create a function block, PLSQL block, so that we can create a unique department ID. So we're going to select this one, custom PLSQL function. Now here's the source. Now let's see an example here. What it says. Here's an example. We can just copy it, paste it here. Let's make it larger. primary key number, select next EMP MF from EMP. We're not going to do that. Department, department ID, from departments. Okay, that's it. Next. Now what are the items to be selected? These all are to be into the form. Then next. It's going. What will be the purpose of this form? Insert, update, delete. Yes. Next. Create. Now this is the page number 2. We only had one page earlier. Now we have created 2 pages. One is for report and one is for the form. Now let's run it. See, here's the report. All the departments are listed here. Here's the button to create a new department entry, and this one says the information about the department table. Now let's dig deep into this page. See, as we discussed earlier, page rendering, page processing, and shared component. In the report page, we have page rendering, and here what we actually have is only one item, that is only one region. The region, let's click here. What is here? In the region, we see here's the query. The report is nothing but an output of an SQL query. Now, what we have to really think about is, let's run it. Now you see, if I click on the create button, it will redirect me to the form table, from form page. Here it is. This is the form. This is the form where you can create a new department information. Let's go back to the report page. Now we'll have to understand. I have clicked on the create button and it redirected me to the form page. Why did it do that? Let's investigate that. Okay, here's the create button. Here's the create button. Okay, let's click on here. What is it saying? Name is create. Action when, this is very important. Action when button clicked. This is very important. Now here, let's see what it says. Action is redirect to page in this application. What are the options here available? Submit page, redirect to page in a different application, redirect to URL defined by dynamic action, reset page, next page, previous page, something like that. Now we have seen that when we click on the create button, we are going to be redirected to the DML page. Now you see it is mentioning the which page you are going to move to, redirect to page in this application. So this field is asking for the page number where you are going to redirect to. Now you see what this clear cache means. Clear cache means when you are redirected to a new page, whether you want the whole page cache to be cleared. This is very important. This is required because you're going to clear the page before you insert any new data. So when I click on create button, my intention is to create a new record. So if there is any value available, so if there is any value available, if there is any value available in that page, in any items, then it might cause some problem. So the idea is to move to the page with the all the items cleared. Okay. So here's the trick why why it redirected to the DML page, because the action in the action of the button written is configured like this. Okay. Now you see we can this is how we can navigate from one page to another with buttons. Now let's see another thing in the report. Let's run it. This is the report. Here's the create button. We can create a new record with this button. We'll go to the DML page and then create button. But if I want to see the existing information of the table, what can I do? Now we're going to see how that form populates the value. So in this page where we're having a report, where in the report region we have a button. If I click on the button, it redirects us to the DML page. Now you see in this page also, in this report also, we have a edit link. If I click on any of the edit link, if I want to edit any of the record, we can edit it by clicking on the edit link. Let's click any of it. Okay, let's click here. So what happens? We are also in the page number 3, which is the DML page. We have come here, but you see here different button set is here. Okay, let's move there, go there. If I click on the create button, you see what happens is only cancel and create button is here, and all the items are blank. But if I click on any of it, if I come through the edit link, then see data is populated into the page and different set of buttons are displayed on the region, and we'll discuss why. Okay, let's discuss about the report linking. Now you see when I click here, it goes to the same page but with a different look and feel. The values are populated and the different set of buttons are displayed there. And let's investigate why this happens. Let's go to edit page. Now go to report attribute is here, edit report columns. Okay, click here. You see in the department ID, here is the link, is a tick mark for link. So we'll click on the, see in the department ID, click here. What it says is all column definition is here. Now column attributes are now column link. You see here's the column link. Link text, what can be the link text? You see preview. Now what we are actually discussing, let's see what is the changes that the system made into this link, so that we go to and we redirect to the page with values. What you see is target. What is the target? If I click here, what is it going to be the target page in this application? Okay, you can also have URL also. Which page? This page. Okay, clear cache. If you want to clear cache, you can do this, but we are not going to clear cache. Now this is the very important. You see this is the primary key item of the DML page. In this item, the primary key value is set. Now you see, we're going to set this item with this value. This is the value of the report. In this page, what is the report value? This is the department ID value. So this value will be set in this item. So you also know the department ID is the primary key ID. Okay, department ID is the primary key column of the table, and P3 underscore department underscore ID. This is the item name of the page 3, which holds the primary key value. Now we are only setting one item. You see, we are only setting one item with its value. And now what you are doing actually, we are actually redirecting to the DML page, and while redirecting the page, we are setting the primary key item with the value we have selected right now. This is the only thing we have done here. Okay, we have only created a link, and here while we click here, we will redirect to the page 3, and then we have set this item with the value of the previous report. Okay, now you see here page 3 item is hidden. We're going to discuss in detail here, but I'm going to show what I have just said, if it is true or not. You see it is hidden. Now for a moment we're going to make it unhidden, or make it a number. Okay, it's the number values. Earlier it was hidden. Apply changes. Now if I run it, what happens? See, this is the 10. Department ID is 10. Okay, let's check again. Go to the report page. It's IT. Let's see what happens here. You see, department ID is 60 and name is IT. Manager is different and data is different. Okay. So it's okay that we have clicked here, go to the DML page with setting the value, and then this value comes. And this might puzzle you. We have only set one item. How come all these values are in the page? Okay, this is a very important question we have to answer in a moment. So let's discuss the DML page right now. So let's make this DML department ID hidden again, so that it may remain in the original state. Okay, let's run it. Now click here, make cancel. Now click on create button. Now this is the status here. Now see, now in the DML page, let's see what are available in this page. In the page rendering, we have page header information, page name, titles, template, etc. In the regions, we have a form on department, static content. This what is the status of this. This is actually. Now let's discuss something about region. The Oracle Forms developers may confuse regions with Oracle Form block. Okay, data block of Oracle Form. No, it's not like that. It is only a container of the items, and all the DMLs are performed by different process, what we'll discuss a little bit later, but take it in mind that it is not so. Keep it clear in mind that this region is not similar to the data block of Oracle Forms. It is just a container to hold items. Okay, and those DML operations will be performed in our with different processes in this page. We'll discuss it later in this discussion. So here it is, source, nothing is there, user identification, nothing there. This is just the default settings, whatever it is, and nothing is here. Now you see we have buttons. We have buttons here. Now let's see what the properties of these buttons. Cancel. Now let's see what the properties of these buttons. You see cancel. You see the button action is actually so the idea of this button is if I click on the cancel button, it will redirect me to the previous page, that is page number 2, which is the report page. Okay, so there is a linkage between page 2 and page 3. When you click on the create button, it comes from page 2 to page 3, and when you click on cancel button, it goes to page 2 again. Okay, this is the relationship we are making here between the two pages. So you see this is the page 2. Now let's move to another. Now let's see what the create button in this page here. You see the action name, this one displayed, this one attribute, some same thing. Now here's the action. What is the action here? Here is the action is the submit page. This create button actually submit page to create a new record. Execute validation, yes. Database action is SQL insert action. Okay, it is selected by, you see the button action is SQL insert action. Condition, this is very important. In Apex development, you will come across the condition. This is very important concept here in Apex, and for the new Apex developer, it's very confusing also. Okay, see, one thing to take in mind, what does this condition mean? Condition means whether this create button will be shown in the page or not. Why I am saying this? Because you see, button is placed in the rendering part, page rendering part. Okay, it is in the page rendering part. So any item which is conditional here means that this item will be rendered or not. This item will be shown at the time of rendering or not. And what is the condition? See, here is a lot of conditions available here. Here is a lot of conditions available, and you have to understand which condition is suitable for you. In here, by default, Apex Engine has given a condition here. You can change as you like according to your requirement. Now you see the condition type here. You see condition type here is value of item or column in expression is null. What is the expression 1? This is the expression 1. This is the expression 1. What is written here? It is written is P3 department ID. So that means any name of any item specified in the expression 1, if this P3 department ID is null, then the create button will be shown. You have to understand it very, very clearly. If you have any confusion in here, you will not be able to do any of the job properly. So this is a very tricky part here. You have to understand the condition very clearly. Let's see apply changes. What about the apply changes button? Action is SQL update. So whenever you press the apply changes button, it actually updates the record. And the condition is, again, here you see condition is just reverse. Condition is reverse than the create. Okay, you see here it is value of item expression 1 is not null. Okay, this is also very logical. Which item you have to which record you're going to update. If the item is set, then you can edit it. Okay, so it is also for this that the value of item in expression 1 is not set, is not null. If it is not null, I mean there is some value here, then the update action will be applicable. Same for delete. Now let's see what about the delete button. In the delete button, you see action when button clicked is SQL delete action. Okay, and before it deletes, there is a JavaScript that is defined by Oracle Apex. It will ask for confirmation. It will ask for confirmation whether you really want to delete it or not. This is how it is done here. In the URL target, you will see it, and there is a confirmation button. If you confirm, then the SQL delete action will be performed. And now look at the condition. When will the delete button be viewed? This is the same button, the same condition as for the apply changes button, which performs the update operation. See, value of item expression 1 is not null. Yes, that is logical. If data is not there, what are you going to delete? So now let's discuss about the process. Fetch row, automatic row fetch type process. It is called fetch row from department. This is a very customized process created by Apex engine. You see, this type is automatic row fetch process. Name is this one, and process point is on load after head. So what is the purpose of this process? You see, row fetch, it fetches the row from the database to the web page. This is the job it does. But how it does it? Let's move to the settings. In the settings, you see department name, the table name is the department's primary key, column is the department ID, and primary key item, that item holds the primary key in the form is the P3 department ID. And this is all you have to do. When this one is set, the automatic row fetch process, it is called ARF, automatic row fetch process, populates the item of the form. Okay, now let's run the form. So let's demonstrate the claim. Now you see here in this page, in the report, it has some column, and we have shown earlier. We have shown in earlier that whenever we click in this edit link, we move to the page number 3, and along with moving to page number 3, we set the department ID item with this value of the report. So let's click here. So what actually happened is, the purpose of the automatic row fetch is, whenever the page is being rendered, and if the primary key item is set by some values, then the purpose of this process is to set the other values of the tables to the page. Okay, so primary key value is the primary key value is set, the other you need not bother about other values of the tables. The primary key, the automatic row fetch process automatically fetches all the columns, whatever the number of the column is, all the columns to the web page. So this is very important process. If you are familiar with this, you can create any kind of search form with this. In our future videos, we will create the search form. So with the use of the automatic row fetch process, we can create a search form. In our future videos, we will demonstrate how to create a search form with automatic row fetch process. It is very simple idea. If you just set the value of the primary key during the rendering, all the values of the page will be rendered. You need not do any coding in that case. Okay, so that is why Apex is very easy to learn. You see. Now let's move to page processing. We're not going to discuss shared component in this video. Now computation validation have no item here, nothing is created here, only the processes are here and there is a branch here. One thing I have forgot about the automatic row fetch process is, you see, there is a very important issue that is called processing point. Processing point means on load after header. So when this process will be executed, it is very important. Based on this processing point, the process will remain in rendering side or in the base processing side, that is determined. Okay, on load after header, that means whenever the page is loaded, after the header is declared, this automatic row fetch process comes into action. Then it whenever it is in action, it looks for the primary key item. If there is a value, then it fetches all the columns of the table to this page and sets the items accordingly. So a very important topic is to take care of the processing point. Okay, now let's move to page processing. In the page processing, you see our idea is to manipulate the data. That's why this kind of form is also called DML form. Here you see only three processes are here. One is get PK, that is the primary key item. Since a new record requires a primary key, so we generated a primary key first and then we applied the page processing. Now let's see what the get PK is all about. We have created the a process which is called get PK. The source of it is, if you can remember, we created a block before we created the form in the wizard level. Okay, that block returns a new ID and the primary key item is set by that value. You see, get PK is a function here, and whenever you call it, it creates a value and it is populated in the department ID. You see, this is the primary key ID. So before we go to the actual data submission, we must make a primary key. So now let's go to condition. Here it is, the condition is, we are saying it whenever the create button is, you see, button press, when button press create. So nothing is here, condition place is nothing, only condition is the create button. So that means whenever you click the create button, the primary key will be generated. Now it's the tricky thing that see, create button itself is conditional based on the primary key item. You see, so whenever you see the create button, that means the primary key item is null. Okay, so when you click the create button, it actually generates a primary key and sets the primary key item. Okay, now let's move to automatic row processing, that is DML. Okay, this is also another very magical process, as it was for automatic row fetch. Similar is here. It is also a very customized process. You see, department's name, tables name is departments, primary key column is department ID, and the primary key item is it. This is the only 3 item is set here. What this one does is, whenever you click any create, delete or update button, it according to this value, according to this primary key item, it actually, in case of create, it creates the record, in case of update, it updates it, and in case of delete, it deletes the record. Okay, in case of create, it first creates the primary key and then submits this value to the table, and the new record is created. Okay, and you see, you can select whether you want this process to insert, update or delete. If all the options are here, and if the process is successful, action process message is shown. Now let's see the condition. So one thing here, in case of rendering, in case of items, in case of any items, HTML objects, the rendering means the condition means the rendering condition, and in case of processes, condition means the processing condition, whether this process will work or not. And in case of HTML objects, this item will be rendered or not. Keep it in mind. Now a lot of talking is there. Now let's actually create a record. Now what we will have to do, you see why we are seeing this value, because primary key item has a value which is hidden. Primary key item is value is set in the primary key item. Therefore this one is here, and since the primary key item is set, apply changes and delete button are here. That we can go back to page 2, and then with the create button will come here so that the page is refreshed. Okay, now click on the create button. Department names, new DPT, manager is 200 and the location is 1700. Create. Let's see what happens. Yes, action processed. Now let's see where our, here this is the new item. You see, this is the new item, new department. We have created the new department with the form. We had to do nothing. Virtually we did nothing. Actually we haven't done any of the PLSQL code or anything else, but a record is created. Now if I click on here, now you see manager ID is 200. Obviously this is not desirable that we show the manager ID or location ID here. We're going to show you the manager name or employee name here, and the location in the name of the location here. But today we're not going to do this. This is only for the demonstration of DML and ARF process, how it works, and these things will be covered in our next videos. So today what we have done is we have created a new page for creating a DML page. For that, we created with the process first created a report and then a DML form. We moved from report to the form and we discussed various items of reports and forms also. So this ends our demonstration today. We will further go on with the discussion with in details of computation validations and LOV and various other things. But for today, I think the video has already been very big one. So thank you for watching. Thank you, everybody.